Number 2 is the Grab Spac, which is a huge $40 billion SPAC.
One of the biggest.
Yeah, it's for a $4 billion pipe, and then 750 million from Altimeter. They've also got a lock on the shares as well. So it is obviously, you guys I know both used them before. Big fans of delivery food. So basically, I mean, half that revenue probably comes from you guys. But
I mean, it could have been.
But yeah, they've been doing really well. The main thing about these are the diversification of their revenue sources. So they've got ride hailing, delivery, wealth management, loans, ads, gift cards, and they're not just little side businesses. They're like they're like the top in Asia for their super app. They're the top in Asia for wealth management, and then they're first in Asia for delivery. So they're doing exceptionally well in everything they seem to go into. And equally, no single country earns more than 35% of their revenue. So even if you obliterated one country, it would still be a very valuable stock.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a COVID play as well. You know, people don't want to go to the shops to get their food. Obviously, for me and Sam, you know, you have click and collect at your Aldi, your Tesco. But if you try to order food, get your groceries from, let's say, Tesco, and you want it delivered, they're fully booked for like 2 weeks straight. And Grab's another player in that industry where people can get a takeaway or general groceries and have it delivered to their own house. So it is a COVID play, and obviously coming from after COVID finishes, obviously the whole taxi side starts happening. And obviously me and Jord, who have traveled Vietnam, Thailand, you know, it's so easy to use that app and to, you know, just one click of a button, you can have someone moped you to wherever you want to go. And it's great.
It's so highly available over there, and everyone knows about it. That's the thing. It's like, I don't know, you get into a conversation with anyone and you go, oh, like, where can I get? And they're just like, Grab. It's so synonymous over there with just getting stuff delivered or getting things done.
I mean, even with these countries, like, you know, you got obviously Uber for what we use. You know, these countries haven't got a huge amount of money in it, but yet you go to a little village and they still know what Grab is, you know, because half of them are using it anyway. So I think, you know, people are calling it the next Uber, but I think that undervalues them. I think they're definitely not a startup company, and I think they're not far off Uber. You know, they've got the clients, they've got, for me, the demand in that.
Yeah, I think with Grab, I think whatever way you look at it, it is a good play. 40 billion as a SPAC was kind of my only concern, because although they have great numbers, 40 billion is a lot to raise via SPAC, especially on the back of what is a current huge drop in the market. I wonder how well they'll do. But equally, it is, in terms of the company and what it's got going for it, it's pretty much got everything going for it. It's got a proven track record. Like you said, it's much bigger than Uber, is it? But essentially, the groundworks are the same as Uber, except they've diversified even more. And yeah, I think that they are a really good buy. Just depends on whether they reach that target and what they come out and say, because they could then come out and say, "Oh, it's a $30 billion SPAC," and everyone goes, "Oh my god, we've completely overestimated this," and it crashes again.
Yeah, there's a few things. There's also the CEO or some. I think the guy obviously is like one of the founders, and he holds 3%, or he will hold 3% of the shares, but he'll have 60% of the voting power, which I find just a little bit odd. I mean, surely there's precedent to something like that, but
it's not too odd. I mean, like I know like Ford Motors, they own a 1% family stake, but they have 40% voting rights in Ford.
Right.
So it does happen a lot in the huge companies, but it does leave you wondering when someone hasn't got, like, that 3% is probably worth loads of money, but when that you say, oh, it's 3% versus he's got 40% of control essentially over the company, that is kind of difficult, because you think, well, why hasn't he got a larger shareholding in the company?
Yeah.
But yes, it's not uncommon for huge companies like these.
I think with the share price, obviously being a SPAC play, and the deal going through, I think the reason obviously we put it number 2 is if you compare it to Uber, which is trading at 55, they're already trading at just under 13. So the minimal downside risk to the upside is huge. If they were half of what Uber's worth, that's still a 2x play.
Yeah.
Which is value for money as soon as they do merge and they are tradable, as going through Grab, this is a $20 to $30 stock at a minimum.
I must admit, certainly how I'd play it would be to how we play most SPAC plays, obviously cash out right before the merger happens and then buy back in as soon as it drops afterwards, because I think it is a very good long-term stock still. So it'll be very interesting to see sort of where they're at in sort of 5 years' time.